October Bitcoin predictions. Stay tuned for Bitcoin astrology. None of this is financial or investment advice. If you're new here, I'm Jack. I'm an engineer and gone crypto astrologer. On this channel, we combine technical analysis with astrology. Beware of the spam bots in the comments below. There's AI bots that are making comments, so ignore those. Watch this video to the end because I'll be giving the Bitcoin predictions at the end. And smash the like button if you like this content that I'm putting out. It's the number one thing you can do to support the channel. Let's take a look at the previous predictions. I always like to keep myself accountable, so let's listen to the September astrology predictions that I made. This is very concerning here, guys. We have Mercury opposing Neptune. Neptune can bring confusion into the markets. The Sun is opposing Saturn. Saturn can bring contractions, bring hard lessons in reality. And Venus is squaring Uranus. Venus, the planet of money, love, and what we value, squaring Uranus, the planet of crypto, could bring possibly a correction as well. But the big news, guys, is we have a partial solar eclipse opposing Saturn and Neptune, because Saturn is conjunct Neptune still. That is major concern there because Neptune can bring confusion to the market, Saturn can bring tough lessons, and we're getting that partial solar eclipse. Now, it does have a minor trine to Uranus and Pluto, so slight positive there. We'll take that. But man, the Sun opposing Saturn and Neptune, that is a concern. So we could see another correction potentially on September 21st. And this could last weeks, guys. It's not always a quick thing. It could either be a quick... All right, so I said right there we could get a correction. Let's take a look at what we got with Bitcoin. As y'all know, we are now getting a massive correction. So I warned you guys about this. Let's take a look at the charts over here. I was talking about the solar eclipse happening right over here, and we got a dump right there, if you see that line. And I also was saying, if you look at that video, that around September 18th that we were going to get a lot of negative transits. Look at this right there. September 18th, September 19th was when we got that dump. Boom. And then we're dumping into that solar eclipse that was opposing Saturn and Neptune. I was saying it could bring a contraction. Neptune brings confusion into the markets, and markets don't like confusion, so we usually get a dump. We got a dump, guys. Take a look at that. Pat myself on the back. We got a very nice call there. Bitcoin tried to recover up to 114, got rejected, and wow, we're getting a massive dump here. I also want you to take a listen to this video that I made 3 weeks ago where I was warning of further downside. Take a listen. This leads to lower prices for crypto, so don't ignore this signal. I'm talking about this right here, y'all. We have had 1, 2, 3 weeks in a row down for Bitcoin. As for the altcoins, it's not as bad. But for the sake of Bitcoin, let's start with that. 3 weeks down, historically has not been a great sign, has not been a great omen for the crypto markets. As we see, the last time was back in January. And if you were there in January, you remember the market started falling off and we lost a lot of euphoria because we got a lot of euphoria. Let's see. In December and January. But then we got 3 weeks down. What happened after that? We tried to get one push up and then it fell back down again to lower lows. Okay, let's see what happened over here. Back in June of last year, we had 1, 2, 3 weeks down. We got a 4th week down before a move up, but it was not able to regain a higher high, and then it fell down again. And so the market was trading sideways for a very long time here. Boom, we got 1, 2, 3 weeks down. We got a rebound, but now we are having another correction. So that's typically what happens when we get those 3 weeks down, just like I was talking about in my last video. And now we're heading further down. Let's look at what happens historically for Bitcoin in the month of October coming up. So this October in 2024, we got a nice green bar that was quite bullish, very bullish. And then we headed up much further. October 2023, we had a strong month, a solid green bar where we broke out from previous resistance. That was a very strong October. And then we're just looking at bull runs, not the bear markets. October 2021, we got a massive green bar heading towards the end of the bull market. And then 2020 in October, we had a really nice green bar breaking out into new highs for Bitcoin. And then in 2017, we had a really strong green bar breaking out of previous resistance levels. So historically, October can be a very, very strong month for crypto, breaking out into a very strong Q4. And there has been many, many years where we have had very strong Q4s, like here, many, many years, almost every single time in a bull market. So that's looking very, very strong. If we look at the total too, let's see how the altcoins do during these times. We have October here. That was a little slow in 2024. We have October here. Nice green candle. And back in the other bull market, 2021, we have very strong October heading into the end of the bull market in 2021. And then 2020, we had, let's see, let's go back here. An okay month. So it looks like October can be a little slower for altcoins. Let's look at 2017. Yeah, 2017 was really slow too, actually. So actually for altcoins, it could be a consolidation month. See, there's a consolidation before a major move up. 2021, the end, that was the strongest October we've seen, I think, for altcoins. 2023, yeah, consolidation before another big move up. Same as 2024. November was super strong. So it looks like November is stronger for the altcoins. So it could be more of a consolidation month for the altcoins. That's really interesting to look at. Now, this right here is a really important chart that is often not even looked at in the crypto community. This is the Russell 2000, and typically when the Russell 2000 breaks out of a major previous resistance is exactly when we get a massive crypto run and usually an altcoin run. We had that happen back here in 2020. The previous peak was right here. Once we finally broke out through that and made a monthly close for the Russell, that is literally when, look at this pink line. This pink line is Bitcoin. That's literally when Bitcoin made new all-time highs and broke out. And we had the biggest crypto run we've seen in a very long time. And the same thing happened, let's see, back here. Yeah, exactly. So we have this previous peak here with the Russell 2000. Once it broke out and made a monthly close right here, November 2016, if you guys remember, that's exactly when crypto really started a massive, massive run up. The biggest run up we've ever seen for crypto. The OGs who were there know what I'm talking about. If we go to where we are today, we'll see that we had this previous peak right when the bear market started in 2021, November. That was literally the top of the market where Bitcoin topped out, Solana topped, Ethereum topped out. You see that right down here. We got that peak. Russell peaked out, but then a lot of sellers came in and then we dumped. And this is the bear market right here. So we had a bear market. Now the Russell attempted to poke into new all-time highs in November 2024. That's when we got a nice crypto run. Solana went on a run, Bitcoin went on a run, but it did not last long because we got rejected. We got a huge rejection in December. That was brutal. Bitcoin dumped and crypto dumped. We got a massive correction to the Trump tariffs. And then we just poked above it again, but it looks like we are still struggling. And if we go to the daily, you can see we just got this rejection the last couple days. So that's a big concern. Let's look at the last time that happened where we got, let's see, we got one rejection. Now we've gotten two possible rejections here. On the monthly scale, I wanted to go back. Yeah, look at this, to 2011, where here's the previous peak right here. Then we attempted one attempt to get above. We got rejected. Two attempts, we got rejected. And then third attempt, we got through. All right, so we might see that happening here. And that could affect crypto, where we could have some more further downside to go. As if we get rejected from here, we might head down a bit before another final third move up. I don't know how long this is going to take. Either it's going to just take a couple weeks and we'll be heading right through again and we'll get a massive altcoin run, massive Bitcoin run, or this could take months where we could be heading down, to November, something like that, maybe December, before another move up. And the good news with that, actually, though that would take a lot more time, but come on, guys, we can wait. We can wait a few months. Not a big deal. We can wait. That could head out. That could make a much more extended bull market for Bitcoin and crypto heading well into next year. And that would actually be super bullish because typically the longer consolidation periods, then the further upside we have. So that could build a further upside. So we'll see what's to come in the months ahead. And stay tuned, subscribe so you'll see my updates on what's to come. Looking at the liquidations today, we have in the last 24 hours, I might need to change the view here. The last 24 hours, let me move my head. If you look in the right corner here, 24 hours, 1.16 billion wrecked. That means there's been that many liquidations. So above a billion, that's typically when we have market turning points, when we get above a billion. So that's actually looking possibly good for a local low, give or take 5 days or so. It can last days for these things to play out, sometimes even weeks. But that's looking good for a potential turning point. And I'm going to be keeping my eye on the fear and greed index just in the next hour here, where we're probably going to go into extreme fear if Bitcoin continues to dump, as Bitcoin has just, gotten a pretty nice correction. Although it's in the short term, it's trying to rebound here. Take a look, Bitcoin, it dumped all the way to 108.7. It's trying to rebound, but let's see what happens in the next hour, how high it can get. But we could dip into extreme fear. And we could also have more downside to go in the next week. If we get extreme fear, that could potentially, at least what I'm thinking, I can't give any financial advice, but what I'm thinking is that could give me a good buy signal. So I might buy more into the market as I have some more cash. We'll look at the daily exchange volume. This is still teetering. It's actually not falling off, and it probably will be going up after today since we had so many liquidations. There could be a lot more volume coming in on the exchanges, which actually is a little bit on the bullish side. So that's why I'm continuing to think that I'm going to be buying more into the market here. So let me move my face here. So yeah, what I was saying is that, the daily exchange volume is not dropping off at all. It's still holding up pretty strong. So that's looking pretty good. And a couple concerns on the monthly chart is if we look at the total market cap, we're getting a lot of selling action, and that is definitely a concern. We had that last month, and this is actually very concerning, where we got bought all the way to 4.18 trillion, but then the crypto market sold all the way. We had a lot of sellers coming in August in particular, and that's a big concern. And we're getting that again this month potentially. We still have a few more days to close the month, but we've gotten all the way up to 4.1 trillion, and then we've sold all the way back down again. So there's a lot of sellers coming in, which is definitely concerning. And I really hope we can close September in the green. It's certainly possible, but we just don't want to see continued downside. The same thing for total too. This is the altcoins. We got a bunch of buyers stepping in the beginning of the month of September to 1.73 trillion, but then we just got a ton of sellers coming in here, which is concerned that the bears are starting to take over. So once again, we want to close this month in the green if possible. We would need a nice pump very, very soon. As for the October general astrology, let's dive in. We're still getting this grand trine between Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus. That is very bullish in the very long term. I'm talking decades, because this is one transit that this is the only time in our lives we're going to be seeing this. Super, super rare. Pluto's bringing transformation for humanity. Neptune's bringing this new spiritual renaissance potentially, and Uranus is bringing this massive new technology with AI and blockchain and crypto technologies. And then October 1st, we have Mercury squaring Jupiter. That's slight negative. October 7th, we have Venus, the planet of money, sextiling Jupiter, the planet of expansion. October 7th is looking pretty good. October 8th, we have Uranus, the planet of crypto, sextiling Neptune, the planet of spiritual oneness. So that can also bring some euphoria, actually. But I don't even. So we could be getting a nice breakout. It's certainly possible. But then Venus is opposing Saturn. Saturn can bring contractions October 10th, slight negative. October 13th, Venus, the planet of money, is trining Uranus, the planet of crypto. It's positive. But then at the same time, Venus is opposing Neptune, which can bring a little confusion into the market. So it's like volatility, kind of up and down price action. Tricky in the first half of October. October 16th, the sun is squaring Jupiter, the planet of expansion. Slight negative there. October 20th, Mercury, the planet of trading, is conjunct Mars, which could bring an explosive move in either direction. October 22nd, we then get Neptune retrograding back to 29 degrees Pisces, which is the anaretic degree that's very intense. Activating the Neptune energy, that can bring euphoria, but it can also bring confusion into the market. So if we are getting a breakout by then, I would be looking at my indicators and seeing if we're getting too much euphoria in the markets. If we're getting into extreme greed territory, I'd be thinking about selling into November. Certainly possible to take profits. Mercury, the planet of trade, is trining Jupiter, the planet of expansion, October 23rd, looking really good. And then on the 24th, Mercury is trining Saturn, which can bring that slow and steady growth, rewarding long-term hard work. October 28th, Mars is trining Saturn and Mars is trining Jupiter. So October 28th is really positive. And so we could be actually getting an explosive breakout by October 28th heading into November. That's looking really good. October 28th, Mercury is trining Neptune, which could bring a little bit of euphoria into the markets. On the 28th, Mercury is also opposing Uranus, slight negative, nothing to worry about. October 29th, Mercury is sextiling Pluto. The planet of trading is sextiling Pluto, the planet of power and wealth. So that's looking good at the end of October. And now specifically for the Bitcoin astrology, the way the planets are transiting to the Bitcoin astrology chart based on its Genesis block in 2009. September 30th, we are getting Neptune sextiling the Bitcoin progressing sun. That's positive. October 5th. So Bitcoin could start to be showing more strength around these times. October 5th, Saturn is trining the Bitcoin progressing moon. That's possible, bringing slow and steady growth. October 13th, Uranus is trining the Bitcoin progressing Mercury, the planet of trade. Uranus being the planet of crypto, that's really positive. October 22nd, Uranus, the planet of crypto, trining the Bitcoin progressing sun. That's really positive. So we're hitting the progressing sun, which can be a sensitive area on the chart. We're getting a lot of positive transits to the progressing Bitcoin chart, which is good. And Uranus squaring the Bitcoin Venus is in orb. Not a huge concern, but just a slight concern. Neptune is sextiling the Bitcoin Jupiter, which is in orb. These are all minor. And then October 24th, Uranus is trining the Bitcoin Jupiter, is in orb. So yeah, overall, this is looking pretty positive for Bitcoin. So that's good for the bulls. October 2nd. Okay, so this is the chart, the astrology to the Bitcoin IBIT BlackRock ETF. Slightly negative. October 2nd, Jupiter opposing the IBIT progressing sun. So there could be a little bit more downside heading into early October. Neptune is sextiling the IBIT Pluto, which is in orb, but we're not getting a direct hit, so that's slight positive. October 5th, we're getting Saturn squaring the IBIT Mercury. So yeah, we could actually get a continued correction into October. It's certainly possible. But then, at least, you know, all of this astrology for the Bitcoin astrology is looking quite good for October. So perhaps the Bitcoin dominance could actually be heading back up in October as the altcoins possibly stall for further consolidation. And now the Ethereum ETF astrology, October 2nd, Uranus is sextiling the ETHA Sun. It's positive. October 11th, Jupiter is squaring the ETHA Chiron. Slight negative there. October 15th, Uranus is trining the ETHA Pluto. And October 16th, Saturn is getting a positive sextile to the ETHA Uranus, the planet of crypto. So overall, the Ethereum BlackRock ETF is looking pretty good. So Ethereum could be holding up decently well. And the Mars transits, this is minor, but yeah, I mean, Mars is going into Scorpio, and typically Bitcoin does not do super well. It's just neutral. when Mars is in Scorpio for the next month or so. So that's just kind of neutral. But then the Bitcoin seasonality, Bitcoin typically can have a very, very strong month in October. So I think the Bitcoin dominance could be heading up in October. That's really interesting to note there. Taking a look at this chart, this is the global M2 year over year percent with a 3-month lead compared to the Bitcoin year over year percent. And look at how closely, when the black line goes up, the Bitcoin line goes up. When the black line goes down, the red line goes down. The black line goes up, Bitcoin goes up, the black line goes up. And look at what's happening towards the end of the year here. The global liquidity line is going way, way up into Q4 2025, which could bring us a strong finish for crypto. Subscribe if you haven't already to receive critical crypto and astrology updates. Please support the channel and smash that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Now, a quick announcement, the Crypto Astro Awakening Retreat. All right, this is the final announcement for this month. We have a transformational retreat coming up for crypto investors. By November 2025, we could see a big crypto bull run. We'll see what happens. If October's slow for the altcoins, then we're not going to get this blow off top heading in November. But if we do, if October is a strong month for the altcoins and we do get an altcoin run, then this could be towards the market peak. So either way, we'll be preparing your strategy to help you lock in your profit takings, whether that happens in November, which it could be, or if it extends, if this bull market extends to next year, then we'll fine tune a solid profit taking crypto strategy that you can apply step by step so that you capitalize in this bull market and don't lose your hard-earned gains. What you'll get is over $10,000 in value, the art of crypto astrology. You learn how I made these calls, how I saw in the last month that we have further downside to go, how to use astrology to see this hidden timing, tools to optimize your profit taking windows, how to use technical analysis, how to read the charts with the proper indicators. We will have astrology teachers to get insider forecasts for 2025 and 2026. We'll see what is in store for 2026. That's going to be really interesting to see if we're going to be getting an extended bull run. I think by the time of this retreat, I can say this with confidence, we will know by November 1st if we're going to be getting an extended bull market into 2026 or if we're going to be getting the blow off top perhaps around November and we're going to be taking profits. So that is a critical month. November is a very critical month. Right when this retreat is happening, Jupiter is going to be retrograding. Uranus is going to be retrograding back into Taurus, which is going to be a massive market shift. So this is a critical time to lock in your strategy and to decide if you're going to take profits or wait into extended 2026 bull run. I'm going to be giving you crypto peak profit sessions to maximize your wealth potential in this rare window of opportunity. We're also going to be doing lots of personal development with yoga, meditation, sound healing. There's pyramids 10 minutes down the street. We're going to be laying down in the pyramids, getting amazing sound healing sessions. It's life-changing. It's going to give you the reset that your nervous system needs for clarity and peace so you can maximize your wealth potential. You're going to be getting nourishing gourmet meals, sacred spring water baths here, optional healing session with a local Balinese healer, which was one of the highlights from the last retreat last year, and optional channeling and spiritual guidance. Myself and my beloved partner, Amanda, are trusted psychic practitioners, and we can give you that personal development and spiritual guidance if you are open to that. You'll get excursions to Bali's most magical sites, visiting waterfalls, temples, and cultural adventures. We're probably going to go visit the monkey forest, hang out with the monkeys for a day. It's really, really cool. You'll be getting group calls with me before the retreat. We have one scheduled, I believe, October 13th. We have the group call scheduled. So get access to this. Get signed up before that happens. Get grounded in your strategy before this retreat. So for the next 5 days until September 30th, this is it's only a $150 deposit just to save your spot. Very simple deposit, and there's only 2 more spots left in the next 5 days. This is it. Register now to claim your spot and ride the 2025 wave with clarity, strategy, and soul. And like I was saying, so there's only 5 more days, and this is the lowest price you're going to see. There's also a special deal that may pop up if we have those deals available. So if there's that full pay option where you can get a massive discount, jump on that as soon as possible, because you're not going to see that at that same price again after September 30th. I promise you the prices are going up in October. So if you feel the call, definitely sign up. Okay, so the Bitcoin predictions, Bitcoin and crypto could have a strong second half of October. But as you saw with the astrology, it looked like Bitcoin could be doing a bit better than the altcoins. So that's a slight concern for the altcoins, but we'll have to see how the month of October starts. The Bitcoin dominance could be heading up a little bit. Either we're likely going to be getting a blow off of top in November at Bitcoin bull run peak with an altcoin run, or if that's not the case, then we'll get likely, I think, an extended bull market into next year. And that would actually be potentially even more exciting. We just got to be very, very patient. Share this video with a friend, family member who would resonate with this analysis, someone who's open to astrology and technical analysis, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.